Jen would be giving Black Aggie a lap dance at that point.
Just in case.
Just in case I got pregnant.
Welcome back to Not My Ghost, Not My Problem. I'm Jen.
And I'm Kelly. And today we're diving into a long-lived Baltimore legend.
Whoop whoop.
A grieving husband once commissioned a bronze figure to represent sorrow, hooded, silent, and heavy with loss. Never meant to frighten anyone. But when a replica of that statue darkened in a Baltimore cemetery, it became something else. They said her eyes glowed red at midnight. They said if you sat in her lap, you'd be dead within a year. They said she watched. What began as art about grief turned into one of Maryland's most chilling urban legends. So grab your flashlight and your nerve, because tonight we're sitting with Black Aggie.
I'm excited.
I have heard about Black Aggie.
Me too. Is she still in Maryland?
We'll get there.
Okay, I'm sorry. I just I feel like I've heard about her and I feel like I connected her briefly to Maryland, but then go ahead. Sorry.
I knew about Black Aggie. I knew that there was a urban legend with Black Aggie, but I did not really know much about it until I researched this episode, which is always kind of cool learning about local things, local legends, you know?
Which, hold on. Distracted. Where did I do it? What did I do with them?
I don't know. What did you do with what?
Well, two things. So I just went to Atlanta this weekend, as you know, but I'm telling the listeners. And I stopped and got 2 books from the Oddities Museum in Atlanta. And this one is the travel guide of haunted locations in various states. So I'm really excited to look through this. Hi, Elias. He does. And
cryptids.
I was really excited when I saw this one.
Jen, do you know how how you know I'm not used to having a tattoo yet?
How?
Is I went like this and then I went like, what the fuck's on my arm?
Good job.
I'm still new. It's still new, guys.
2 books that I am really excited to read and get into and hopefully find some good
we're gonna
topics
have so many cryptids
for the podcast, because I was looking through this and I'm like, I haven't heard of most of this shit. So you just hold on. Let's just real random. We're gonna open up to a page.
Okay.
Okay. Oklahoma octopus.
Okay. Usually they live in the ocean, correct?
Usually. I wouldn't think there was one in Oklahoma.
Perhaps an aquarium?
Maybe. You have the Beast of the Busco.
Okay. Never heard of that.
Flatwoods Monster.
I've heard of the Flatwoods Monster, although I don't remember anything about it. I've just heard the name.
Dover Demon.
Like Dover, Delaware?
No, it was in Massachusetts.
No.
I have no idea. I'm really excited to look through that and sprinkle you all with some cryptids.
Welcome to our scripted, unscripted banter, as we just babble on about.
Yeah.
We all know what you're getting here.
We haven't talked in like a week, so we're sorry. We're catching up with each other.
Right.
And by talked, I mean like face to face or phone, whatever you want to call this. Not
right, we text every day.
We text all the time. I don't think a day goes by that Kelly and I don't text.
If it did, I would be like, "You okay?"
Yeah, right? There's always something. And Elias has been very active.
Elias has been active today.
Yeah.
We don't know where we left off because I had to say something to Jen, and then we had a lipstick break, everyone, just to update you.
If our
Mhm.
lips look redder, that's why.
That's right. Try. That's try.
Try.
Try. That's try.
I
Sure. I do have
don't
a
know why I
question
just
for
made
you.
that noise. My autism is really bad today, Kelly.
Oh, is it your autism, Jen? Do you think that it's your autism?
It's the
Wait,
autism.
let- you know what we got to do?
What do I don't know.
We got
Right.
to drink.
I mentioned
We
that I
have
was
to drink.
autistic, so I better drink.
Jen said she was autistic, and you know, what are we gonna do?
Drink. I mean, that's what I do all the time anyway.
I was gonna say, if Jen wanted me to get drunk really quick, she could
Yeah.
just
Kelly.
throw that word out a lot. Yeah.
Hey, Kelly. Autism, autism,
Yeah.
autism, 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 autism.
I can't finish the glass. I still got to read the script.
That's fair. I don't want to get you drunk too fast.
Right.
Um,
Okay. So my question
so-
for you,
Sorry,
eventually,
most people are not going to have any idea what we're talking about.
we have our podcast biggest fan that likes to DM us and leave us comments about the things they love best and they love the most
Yeah,
about our podcast. They're
love
such a
the
fan.
most.
They're such a fan. It's actually romantic.
I was just gonna say that. God damn it.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a little romantic.
it is.
Mhm.
So, hi, biggest fan.
Hey girl, what's up? I'm autistic, and I'm gonna keep
Oh,
talking
God damn it,
about it.
Jen. I wonder if we have to drink every time Jen mentions that she thinks I'm autistic.
Yes.
Because then we're going to get real drunk real fast.
Real
Okay, your question
My
for this
question.
episode
God.
is it's kind of a two-part, sort of.
Okay.
What do you think is scarier and what do you think is harder? Grief?
My cock.
Okay, so Jen's cock is harder. What do you think is scarier? Grief or death?
Grief.
I agree.
Yeah. When you die, you die. You don't. It's either my thoughts around death. I don't know if there's something after. I hope that there is because that
Mhm.
makes living a little bit easier. But I am very much like I can't. My teeny tiny little brain cannot comprehend the power that is this universe. So I don't know. Um. So for me, death is one of two things. Either there's something, right? Or there's nothing. So either I'm probably happy that there's something, or there's nothing and I cease to exist and don't know about it. So,
Now, if
but
there is
grief,
something, it makes this podcast make a lot more sense.
it definitely does. I do strongly lean towards there being something, but
Mhm.
I don't know what or what form. And I just, to me, like, death has never really scared me. Like, I've just been, it is, it is what it is. And I can't change it by worrying about what it is. So I can think, I can cling to
Oh, well,
hope.
that's never stopped me before from worrying about something, whether I could change it or not.
I got plenty of other things on my list to worry about, Kelly. Death does not need to be one of them.
It doesn't.
Doesn't.
I think that the thought of grieving, like if
Yeah.
God forbid, if something happened to my husband,
Mm.
um,
Come move in with me.
I have children to be okay for. But if I didn't, I feel as if I would follow him shortly after.
Yeah.
Because I cannot imagine.
Look, I get that your children are at the top of your list, but you could have at least said, I have children and my best friend that I have to live for. Like, I should be grouped in with the kids.
Okay, you can be up there with the kids.
Thank you.
Or if something happened to one of my children, gosh, grieving that, I don't know.
Yeah,
I
grief.
don't want to talk about it because I'm going to get depressed. So
Yeah,
I do
grief
think that it's scarier to have to face grief. I've been thinking about grief a lot because March 27th, the 10-year anniversary of my dad's passing.
Yeah.
So I've been deep in the grief bits because we are recording this at the end of February.
Yeah. March 13th is 6 years since my cousin passed away. So, yeah.
That's my son's birthday. Blaze's
Yeah.
birthday. And somewhere in March, sometime in March, I'm gonna have a new grandbaby.
Exciting.
Again, we've derailed ourselves. We have no idea where we were. That
We filled
happens
up
a
with
lot
wine.
around here.
We just
Wine
had a wine
break.
We had an
We just had a wine
unannounced
break.
wine break.
You can put the graphic up here just so they don't feel like they're losing anything. So yes, new grandbaby due in March. So by the time this airs, she's here, she's gorgeous, she's
Yay.
happy, she's healthy, and we are so in love.
Of course.
Of course. All right. I do have a couple of facts.
Okay.
And our facts are about statues because Black Aggie was a statue.
Don't blink.
So statues are among the oldest human art forms.
I was trying not to blink and I lost like immediately. Sorry, go on.
The earliest
I looked at the camera and was like, I'm not gonna blink, and then immediately blinked.
Okay. The earliest known human figurines date back over 30,000 years.
Shut up.
Such as Venus.
Too many years. Sorry, go.
It's too many years. It's a lot of years.
A lot of years.
Objectively, 30,000 years is a lot of years.
Yes and no, depending
swear,
where you're looking at it in the timeline of the Earth.
Still objectively 30,000 is a lot of years, but that doesn't mean it's the most amount of years.
I don't know.
The
I don't think Neil
maximum
deGrasse
amount of years.
Tyson would say it was a lot of years. Sorry.
Okay. Let's contact Neil and see if he'll be on the podcast.
Hey, Neil.
And we'll have him weigh in. We know you're watching.
We know you're watching. Do you want to be on our podcast? And I don't know. We'll talk about something sciencey. We'll come up with something cool.
As a matter of fact,
I would shit myself if Neil deGrasse Tyson was on my podcast.
Well, I mean, we're going to clip this and we are going to definitely tag Neil deGrasse Tyson in this. So, hi, Neil.
Hey, Neil.
We are huge fans. Please be on our podcast and then you can just pick. Listen, you could pick whatever the fuck you want to talk about and we'll just go along with it.
Yeah. And
we'll listen.
You will probably thoroughly embarrass us because we're not smart.
Not really.
No.
Jen is this much smarter than me in some ways, and I'm like this much smarter than her in some ways.
I have 2 master's degrees.
Yes.
But none of them are in anything science. Well, I do technically have a bachelor's degree in psychology.
Does that mean I'm not smart because I have 0 degrees?
Yep.
That's what that means, kids.
Yes. No degree means you're a dumbass. I'm kidding. College is overrated, kid. If you're listening. Anyway, I'm sorry.
We're never going to get through this episode. Yeah, so there's a statue of Venus in Germany that's 30,000 years old.
Okay.
Many ancient cultures believe statues could house spirits, which some probably still do, as in Doctor Who. Yeah.
Yeah, don't blink.
Mm-hmm.
This might not.
You're going to lose. Your body will make you blink. In ancient Egypt, statues were thought to serve as vessels for a person's life force after death. Bronze statues A lot of statues are made out of bronze. Uh, so they retain heat longer than stone, which is why bronze statues can feel warmer or warm after sunset because they
Okay.
retain the heat from when the sun was up, which will be
Interesting.
relevant in a bit.
Oh,
Just
okay.
as a quick content warning, there will be mention of someone self-deleting themselves in this episode.
I like that. I mean, I like that phrase. It's I don't know how to say that correctly. Like, I obviously don't like someone self-deleting, but that phrase is an
Mhm.
interesting way to put it.
We're not allowed to say the word here on YouTube, so we have to
Oh, okay.
we
We've
have
said
to
the
say it in
w
other
we've
ways.
said the word a lot.
I know, but we're not supposed to.
I who knows? Maybe by the
Oh,
time this episode comes out, we'll be monetized. I doubt it,
hey,
but
Jen, do you have any particular mental health diagnosis or anything like that?
I'm autistic.
Oh, good, because I was
Yeah.
thirsty.
I got a lot of them, by the way, but several. I got a rep
I'm
sheet that's like a mile long.
girl, same. I'm also a little distracted at the fact that my camera is always so blurry and Jen's is very crisp, and it's pissing me off. But I'm uglier than her, so it probably works out better for y'all.
Doing the
Okay,
Alexis Rose hair flip. You wouldn't get that reference because you haven't watched Schitt's Creek.
I watched the first 2 episodes. Okay, we're gonna eventually have to get into this episode.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Eventually.
I haven't eaten today and I'm drinking, so it's gonna be a shit show.
I'm gonna have to steer the ship is what you're saying?
Steer the ship, Kelly.
It's dangerous because I almost said steer the shit instead of the ship.
I mean, that works too.
Yeah. Okay. Before Black Aggie ever terrified Baltimore teenagers, before the dares, before the glowing red eyes, there was grief. The statue that would later be nicknamed Black Aggie began 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 as a work of high art commissioned in the late 19th century. In 1891, renowned American sculptor Augustus St. Gaudens completed a memorial in Washington, D.C.'s Rock Creek Cemetery titled the Adams Memorial.
The Addams
The
family.
commission the commission came from historian and writer Henry Adams after the death of his wife, Marion Clover Adams, in 1885. Clover died by self-deletion at the age of 42 after a period of depression and illness. Her death devastated Adams. He did not want a memorial that was a conventional angel. He did not want a religious symbol of any kind. He did not want comfort in this statue. He wanted something that captured the weight of loss.
That's
St.
interesting.
Gaudens, yeah. St. Gaudens responded with a seated, hooded bronze figure. The form is heavy, the posture inward, the face is partially covered beneath a deep cowl, which is like a, you know what I mean, a cowl, a
Yeah, a
scarf.
cow. Yes.
Yeah, a scarf thing. The hands are relaxed but not expressive.
As you can
The
see.
body language, yes, the body language suggests contemplation rather than prayer. He didn't want like the hands like this, like praying at all. There are no
I
wings.
don't know off the top of my head what this statue looks like because it's been a while, so I'm just, like, imagining.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay. There are no wings, no halo, no biblical references. It's not an angel of death. It's not a demon. It's not even clearly male or female. The statue was cast in bronze, which is dark and smooth, and it was installed against a curved granite bench and wall, creating an enclosed, almost private atmosphere. Visitors approaching the monument encountered it suddenly, seated and waiting. I think it took people off guard.
I just looked it up because again, I mean I know I've seen it before, but I just didn't. I've seen a lot of things. It it's interesting. It's it's not how you would think a memorial statue would be. Like you can't even really see the face unless you like get
Mhm.
close. Huh. It it feels like it's looking into my soul. I feel
You
very
having a moment?
yeah, I'm sorry. I feel very uneasy looking at this statue. Like
Okay.
it makes me uncomfortable.
The late 19th century was a period of elaborate funerary art in America. Funerary, obviously meaning funeral ish.
I assumed. I've literally never heard
Yeah.
that word uttered in my entire life, but you know, I'm smart.
Neither had
Ish.
I. That's why Jen just cut out me trying to say it 17,000 times.
And if you want to see that footage, go join our Patreon where we put all our blooper reels on because trust me, there's a lot of them, y'all. So
Yeah. It's almost better than the podcast itself.
it really is sometimes.
Yeah. And we are shameless. We do not care if you
No,
laugh at us.
please do.
Hey, Jen, what were you recently diagnosed with?
Autism.
Oh, thanks. In case our listening audience hasn't caught on, that is the proposed game that our very number one fan
Number one. Yeah,
has
has proposed
suggested.
that
Yeah.
whenever you hear it, you do something specific.
Hmm. They seem to think it was cringe. I seem to think it's a great opportunity to get drunk.
I agreed. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I
I
think
do want
so.
to just be clear because we do want to be monetized on YouTube. We are not encouraging anyone to drink. We are not telling you you have to. We are just saying that we are going to when these things happen.
Correct.
That's it.
Yeah,
I'm
because
autistic, Kelly.
when we have fans, we like to take their feedback into
Right.
consideration.
Someone told us that we should play a drinking game every time I mention I'm autistic. So, that's what we're doing.
Oh, damn it. You said it again. I am indeed going to need more wine.
Buckle up, everyone.
Okay. So the Adams Memorial broke from the tradition. Instead of hope, it offered ambiguity. I said that right on the first time. Thank you. Instead of uplift, it offered stillness. And instead of heaven, it offered the human condition.
Okay.
Even in its original setting in Washington, D.C., visitors described the statue as unsettling.
It is unsettling. As you all just saw, I'll put it up here again so everyone can be reminded of how
Mhm.
unsettling it is. But comment below. Does anyone else get like weird vibes? Like I don't know. It feels like it's staring into my soul, and I don't like it.
I have ADHD and I'm easily distracted by that candle behind me. I'm sorry. It's making me laugh. So some wrote that it felt as if the figure was watching them.
It does.
Others described an emotional heaviness in its presence.
Same.
There were whispers that its expression changed depending on the light, and that it seemed almost alive at dusk. Um, Again, we don't know where we left off.
We derailed.
I got distracted by my face, and then it led to a whole thing, and then a bathroom break, and then more wine.
Yeah.
I had
And a
to
message
grab another
that
bottle.
a message for our patrons, that'll be on the blooper reel. So if you want to hear that, go join our Patreon.
You're autistic, right?
I am autistic, Kelly.
Please, anybody watching this for the first time, know that we are not in any way, shape, or form shaming autistic people because
No,
Jen
no.
is autistic.
I
And
am
we,
autistic. And Kelly is
personally,
most likely autistic.
it's one of my favorite qualities about her because
Thank
it
you.
it makes her unique.
Exactly.
And
I just have a unique
why
brain.
would you want boring when you can have
No.
unique, right? Why
Exactly.
would you want like the standard everyday? Oh, you know what I heard? I was going to text you, but it's perfect for the podcast.
Perfect.
I
Tell me.
watch another YouTube show. I watch a whole channel that would hate everything we're doing here, but I like them for other reasons. The one guy that owns the channel is autistic, and he refers to himself as, instead of like neurotypical and neurodivergent, as neurosuperior
Ooh, I
because of
love
the
that.
superpowers that his autism brings him. So
Yeah,
Jen is neurosuperior.
I know.
I swear to Christ, people, we are going to get to this episode.
We are. We promise.
Thanks for hanging in there. If you are still here, you're a real one.
Thanks, everyone.
Okay, I got to find where I was. The discomfort that people feel when they see the statue may stem from what the statue refuses to provide, and that's resolution.
Oh.
Human beings look for narrative cues. We want to know what something is: angel, demon, male, female, comforting, threatening. But the Adams Memorial offers none of that. The hood obscures the face just enough to prevent certainty. The
Yeah.
mouth is neutral, the eyes are shadowed, and the body is relaxed, but not at peace. When a form does not signal safety or threat clearly, the brain fills in the blanks. Ambiguity invites projection, and
I don't.
projection is the
Sorry.
birthplace of legend.
I feel really uncomfortable talking about this statue, and I don't know why.
Hmm. There's a lot of people that would agree.
I don't know. It just makes me really uncomfortable. Like, when I looked at this statue, the pictures, like, I'm just really unsettled by it. And we've talked about some crazy fucking shit on this podcast, but, like,
Question:
this bothers me
more or less than black-eyed kids?
more.
Wow. Well, I can tell you this, that there are no instances of Black Aggie appearing in other people's homes or anything. So
That's good.
you can.
And I'm not saying, like, I don't think this is going to, like, be a fear that Black Aggie is just gonna fucking appear in my apartment or float outside of my third-story window, as Kelly has put in my head with black-eyed kids, but I am unsettled thinking about Black Aggie, and I don't know why.
Okay. Well, this sculpture quickly became one of St. Galdens,
Oh,
sorry.
good.
Galdens. This The sculpture quickly became one of St. Gaudens's most discussed works. He was already a leading figure in American sculpture, known for Civil War monuments, but the Adams Memorial stood apart from the rest of his work. It was deeply personal, almost private. Henry Adams himself spoke publicly about it. The monument was meant to be contemplative, not sensational. It's It was art about mourning and nothing really more than that.
Okay.
Over time, visitors began referring to the Washington statue simply as grief. The name stuck in its cultural memory, even though it was never formally inscribed as grief. It literally was the Adams Memorial.
Every time you fucking say Adams, my head says the Adams family. Sorry.
But we do know that names, they matter.
Yes, they do.
Calling something grief centers emotion. Calling something Black Aggie, as it would later happen in Baltimore, centers personality.
Have we haven't are you gonna get to
Mhm,
why she is called Black
mhm,
Aggie? Okay, okay.
mhm.
Right.
Yeah. But we do know that names matter.
They do.
The Washington statue remained solemn, but once replicated, once relocated, once renamed, its meaning would shift.
So it's not the original statue, it was replicated?
It was replicated.
Oh, I did not know that.
And that shift would transform a meditation on sorrow into a supernatural dare. Why does the statue about grief feel like it's more disturbing than a statue of death? People found this statue more disturbing than like a grim reaper holding a scythe.
Huh.
Um, and they believe it's because grief is something that we all recognize,
Yeah.
that we're all afraid of because we've all felt it and we don't want to feel it again.
Yeah.
At the turn of the 20th century, the funerary monument companies frequently reproduced popular sculptures for private clients. One such firm, the Monument Bronze Company of Bridgeport, Connecticut, obtained authorization to cast a replica of the Adams Memorial.
The Addams family.
So they did several, and one of those replicas was installed in Baltimore County, Maryland's Druid Ridge Cemetery.
I've never been.
I don't think I've ever been there either.
I feel like there's just so many haunted things I, like, have missed out on in Maryland, and, like, I lived there my entire fucking life, but
It's okay, you missed out you would have missed out on this anyway.
oh, okay.
So the statue marked the grave of Felix Agnes. Felix Agnes was a French-born Civil War officer who later became the publisher of the Baltimore American newspaper. He died in 1925, but the monument itself had been placed years earlier as a family memorial.
Wait,
So
what? He
the family, his family, the Agnes family, placed this statue there as a memorial for the whole family.
Oh, okay. I thought they
Um,
placed it as a memorial for him years
mm-mm.
before he died, and I was like, that's sus. That's a little weird." But okay.
So then when he was buried there, it just kind of became it was always the Agnes statue, but then it became more like well known because he was a Civil War officer. So that's why people like recognized the name of the statue and it became more
Okay.
associated with him rather than just the family because of
So,
that.
I have a question, and if you're gonna get to it, tell me to shut the fuck up, but is all variations of this statue haunted, or is it just this one?
The legend of the Black Aggie statue is this one.
Okay. So
Okay.
there are other variations of the
There are
same
multiple
statue,
replicas. Yes,
right,
there are
that are
multiple
not
replicas of
haunted.
the statue.
So it's a replica of the original that is haunted.
I can't speak to hauntedness or not. I just know that this is the only one there are reports of.
Okay, claims of hauntedness, Kelly.
Mhm.
That's all our fucking podcast does is claim that shit is haunted, right?
All right, don't like give away the whole goat. So they put the replica in Baltimore, but something changed when it was there. Unlike the original in Washington, which sits within a carefully landscaped alcove, the Druid Ridge version was positioned in a more open cemetery
Question real
environment.
quick. When you say Washington, are you talking about DC or state?
Washington, D.C.
Okay,
Yes.
just wanted to make sure. That's what I thought, but I wanted to be sure.
I said that in the beginning.
I'm sure you did, but I wasn't
Mhm.
fucking paying attention. Sometimes I miss things.
So the lighting was different in this cemetery because it was more open rather than like heavily landscaped bushes and all of that stuff. I'm still like, what the hell is on my arm, guys?
Landscape bushes.
Do you landscape your bush? Let us know in the comments below. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Are you an expert landscaper? Please let us know.
Everything about the cemetery was different. The surrounding monuments were different. The visitor flow was different. And the bronze darkened significantly over time because it
Okay.
was more exposed to the sun. And bronze will do that.
Yeah.
It will darken. So oxidation and weather exposure gave the statue a deep, nearly black finish. What had once read as dark brown in Washington appeared as almost coal black in Maryland, and
Interesting.
it began to look heavier. We do recognize that the optics of darker coal black equaling evil can be looked at as racist. We are
Well,
not saying that this is the reason that this statue looks this way or feels this way. I am just did the research based on the time
yeah,
when this
absolutely.
was happening and how people spoke about it at the time.
100%.
We do acknowledge that, but
Black does not mean bad. It's my favorite.
no,
Well, it's my second favorite color.
right. But it is called Black Aggie because the statue did appear black, and it is with this statue where these legend took hold. So that's the only reason that we
We
do
just
not
want to
feel like
acknowledge it.
right that like we get it. We see how it can sound, but we are
Yeah,
reporting on the legend at the time that the legend was in as well.
absolutely. Kelly,
Yes,
wine break. And we're back from our wine break. Thank you.
we are. Locals began referring to the statue as Black Aggie at this point. The nickname likely derived from the Agnes family name. Agnes to Aggie softened it into something that sounded more familiar than kind of that hard G sound like Agnes. Um,
Okay.
and then you put the Aggie with the I don't know, people were saying that the E sound at the end softens the G sound, and that's why they think that people kind of switch Agnes to Aggie.
Okay. I mean,
I think
sure,
that sounds like a bunch of shit, but whatever.
probably, but
Yeah. So it was not the Adams Memorial. It was not grief. It was a name that felt like a person. Renaming an object personalizes it. And once something feels personal, it becomes easier to attribute behavior to it.
that makes sense.
Yeah. The Washington statue remained a memorial. The Baltimore replica began to feel like a presence. By the 1920s and 1930s, local whispers had become attaching themselves to the monument. That's how far back we are, guys. I'm not talking about this like even in my lifetime, and I'm old as fuck.
She is old as fuck.
This is like 1920s and 30s. Teenagers began visiting Druid Hill Cemetery and telling stories. The most persistent legend claimed that if you sat in Black Aggie's lap at midnight, you would die within a year, which is quite severe.
Okay, so there's a lot of things paranormally that I would like to test. Anything that says I am going to die, I will pass on testing. It's not worth it to me. I don't want to take that chance to prove a point. Like I'm really fucking confident and I'm really like love to prove people wrong, but not at the expense of my life.
Could be because I've had a lot of alcohol, but I feel like I would try it.
Don't you fucking dare, you piece of shit.
What?
If the Black Aggie statue fucking killed you, the podcast would be done. I would lose my best friend. Like,
the podcast would
no.
not be done. First of all, you could easily pull one of our like OG patrons into a co-host position. And
Not the same.
how cool would it be?
I love them, but
I know it wouldn't be the same. Obviously, nobody's ever going to replace me. Even your little boyfriend is never going to come close to me.
not even close.
Not even close.
Sorry, Mike.
Sorry, Mike. I love you. You were wonderful, but you're no me. I don't remember what we were saying, guys. How cool would it be for the podcast, though, if a legend actually killed me?
Not fucking worth it. No.
Okay. All right. I won't do it. I can't anyway, but I won't.
Don't you fucking dare.
I can't. I couldn't if I wanted to.
Spoilers.
Okay.
Apparently, Black Aggie is no longer within reach, so.
Well, technically in reach, but some said that pregnant women who sat in her lap would lose their unborn child. Now, that is not a risk I would take. What?
It's funny that you said that's not a risk you would take because it is a risk I would take. I live in Florida, y'all. I gotta do what I can.
Jen would be giving Black Aggie a fucking lap dance at that point.
Every fucking night. Okay, just in case.
Just in case I got pregnant. Yes, as Jen said, she lives in Florida, and Jen does not want children. So
I do not. So
she would be doing a little lap dance.
Sounds like a great plan. Plan B, anyone?
Right.
I honestly still take plan B. Black Aggie is like plan C or D or E, but not plan B.
I have a stockpile of plan Bs.
Do you?
In my home. I do.
Need to get some. Costco still sells it.
That's the thing, man. Go to if you all have a Costco near you, go to Costco. They're like $5.
Oh my god, it's so much fucking more expensive anywhere else. But Costco, fucking cheap as shit. So just
what is this episode, Jen? What is this fucking episode?
I don't know. What are we doing? Y'all, if you need to get an abortion, go sit on a Black Aggie statue and you'll be fine. Not real medical advice. Please consult.
Yes, I'd like to point out that Jen and I are not doctors, if you haven't figured that out at this. Although Jen does have 2 master's degrees.
I do. And I'm autistic.
Oh my goodness. I have a high school diploma.
Steer the ship, Kelly. Steer the ship.
Okay, I want to steer the ship. It's my turn. I'm steering the ship. I don't remember what the last thing we said was, but I'm pretty sure it was that if you sit on Black Aggie's lap, you'll lose your unborn child if you are pregnant. And there is no archival evidence to support those claims. But the story spread anyway. Older Baltimore residents later recalled being warned by their parents to not go near the statue. Some remembered classmates daring one another to sneak into the cemetery after dark,
Totally would have
and
done
she
that.
was easy to spot because she was in a seated position. So if you didn't know where she was and you just looked at all the other monuments, they're mostly like standing up or pray, but she was sitting down and it made her easier to spot in the cemetery.
Okay.
So the posture turned the monument into a challenge. And once the challenge exists, teenagers will accept it, which we know.
Yeah. I mean, Tide Pods,
So
like
right.
that happened. That's a stamp in our history we cannot erase.
I would like to point out that I raised children that were smart enough to not partake in that.
That was after my generation of being a dumb child, so I did not partake in it. And I
Mhm,
don't have
mhm.
kids, so because I sat on Black Aggie.
Druid Ridge Cemetery was not a neglected graveyard. It was a well-maintained burial ground established in the late 19th century. But like many cemeteries of that era, it was expansive and it was very lightly patrolled after dark.
As cemeteries should be, because I want to explore them after dark and not be
I
patrolled.
agree.
Thi this is a service announcement from Not My Ghost, Not My Problem. Do not trespass on cemeteries that say you are not allowed to enter after dark. Just because we say we want to does not mean we are telling you you should.
We would never tell you to do something like that.
Don't ever do that
Don't
thing. 'Cause
ever do it. It's a big no-no.
bad idea.
Okay. So some visitors insisted that the statue felt warm to the touch at night. Others claimed that the air around it felt heavier or colder or electrically charged, which I thought was
Ooh.
interesting. Yeah. As we said before, bronze does retain heat longer after the sun goes down. So if someone approached the statue shortly after sunset, it might indeed feel warmer than the surrounding granite.
That's fair.
But warmth can become evidence if someone expects the supernatural.
Also fair.
Yes. Expectation
Kelly.
can shape.
We match.
You just noticed that? We do.
We have the same shirt on. Yes. Sorry.
Jen, you were telling me that you think I'm something, and I can't remember the word.
I think you
I think
may be autistic.
Oh, is that it? Okay. So expectation can shape perception.
Yes.
If we are primed for paranormal activity, we can experience paranormal activity that's not really there because we are primed for it.
Yes.
And once the name Black Aggie entered Baltimore folklore, perception began doing the rest. How does a commissioned family memorial become a citywide dare?
I
At
don't
what
know,
point
Kelly. Tell me.
does art stop belonging to a family and start belonging to rumors? By the time the 1940s rolled around, Black Aggie was no longer just a grave marker. She was becoming a test of bravery. And the stories were about to get louder. By the mid 20th century, Black Aggie was no longer just a nickname. She was, in fact, a Baltimore legend. And legends grow teeth.
I don't know at what point I'm going to be able to bring this back in my editing skills that I apparently have now. But Kelly and I just went on a very long
Therapy session?
Therapy session. There were tears. We both started crying. because I had to remind her how amazing and wonderful she is as a human. And um, literally, I got emotional and started crying, which then made her get emotional and start crying. And we have no idea what the fuck we're doing or where we are in this episode or what is happening. But I just want our listeners to realize that Kelly and I are best friend goals, right? Like, we are the goals that every best friend group people
That is the truth.
hopes to have, because I love this bitch more than I love almost anything, with the exception of my dog. She is number 2, and nothing nothing surpasses my love for her except for my love for my dog.
Right.
Yeah. So I love
Stay
this
tuned
bitch.
for our next podcast eventually,
Yep.
Unresolved Trauma,
Which we
where
may
you will
save
see
that
part of
clip.
this play out.
We're gonna save that clip and we're gonna play it when we talk about unresolved trauma. But right now, you are listening to hear about ghosts. So Kelly,
Back to it. Okay.
here's the fucking ship.
By the 1950s, the statue at Druid Hill Cemetery became widely known among Baltimore teenagers as a destination for dares. Newspaper archives from publications such as the Baltimore Sun document repeated incidents of trespassing and vandalism connected to the statue.
Trespassing, fine. Vandalism, sorry. Don't be a
Not so cool.
nah.
Visitors would chip off fragments of the statue as souvenirs.
Oh, don't be a dick.
Right. Some scratched initials into the statue, and others attempted to climb onto the figure for photographs. Cemetery officials started reporting increasing incidents after dark. Black Aggie had moved from quiet memorial to spectacle. And this is where the stories intensified. The most common legend is if you sat in Black Aggie's lap at midnight, you would die within 1 year.
Or
A darker
have an abortion.
A darker variation claimed that death would come within several days. Another version insisted that, like we said, pregnant women who even touched the statue,
Oh, I don't
not just sitting in the lap, but
Okay.
even touched
Just
the
touching.
statue would miscarry.
That's good
Right.
because I would be worried to sit in the lap that then it would like kill me. So if I just have to touch it,
Mhm.
then that's
Right.
my plan C. And I'm good.
Right. Some people would say, again, that her eyes would glow red, and others said that if you looked directly into her hooded face at midnight, you would see your own death, like how it would play out.
Oh. Would you do that?
One story. Yeah, absolutely.
100%. Me too.
Yeah. One story claimed that the grass refused to grow beneath the statue. Another insisted that birds would not land on her shoulders. And perhaps the most dramatic claim is that the statue shifted positions overnight. That's crazy to me.
Yeah. The birds, okay, fine. Like, how often do birds actually land on like statues? Grass, could it be sun it's hitting the wrong direction, the grass isn't getting the sunlight, whatever. But shifting,
I know.
that's
Because you'll be able to have photographic evidence of that, right?
where is the photographic evidence?
No, I'm just saying that, like, if it did shift, you would think there would be photographic. So we know that legends escalate in layers. The earliest dares likely involved just touching the statue, then sitting in the lap, and then staying until midnight. Once enough people participated without consequence, the story tends to evolve.
Yeah.
Urban folklore often compensates for failure by raising the stakes some. If someone sat in her lap and lived, well, maybe it takes a year. If a year passed and they survived, maybe it only works if you truly believe that it'll work. Or maybe something bad happens later, like a car accident, an illness, a memory that rewrote the timeline somehow.
Sounds convenient.
Right. Coincidence becomes causation when fear is involved. Repeated vandalism led cemetery officials to increase patrols of cops. The statue sustained visible damage over time. The Agnes family monument had become a local attraction, but not in the way that it was intended. Several oral history accounts collected decades later described the statue as radiating something heavy.
I feel that.
Yeah. Some Baltimore residents recall that simply standing near the statue felt wrong.
Simply looking at the picture feels wrong to me. So,
Right.
as a former Baltimore resident, I can attest.
So one former visitor described it as the statue that felt like it was aware of your presence, which is creepy when statues are involved. Definitely.
I don't like that. Don't like.
Mm-mm. Cemeteries already exist in the psychological gray zone. They are public spaces associated with death, but also memory and reflection. We are wired to detect faces. We are wired to detect intention. When a figure's expression is unclear, our brains kind of search for the meaning in that.
Yeah.
At night, eyes appear to glow when reflecting distant headlights, right?
Okay.
So it makes sense. We know that our brake lights are red.
Yes.
So if someone on the highway is braking, it could appear to reflect in the eyes of the statue
It
if
could.
that's what you are primed to look for.
Where I want to know is where is the statue located to said highway? Is that like feasibly possible that the lights are
It
reflecting?
is.
Okay. Okay.
It is.
Okay.
So static posture feels like suppressed motion almost. Like when you look at a statue and it's just sitting there still, it feels like it's supposed to be moving, but it's not. And that feeling of it's supposed to be moving can sometimes lead to feelings of it moving
Okay. I can see that.
because we're almost expecting to see it move,
Yeah.
you know.
Our brain does
So
crazy things.
obviously, Black Aggie did not need to move.
I mean,
She only needed to sit there long enough for imagination to animate her.
maybe. Or maybe she actually
Right.
moved.
Maybe. By the 1960s, the legend had spread beyond Baltimore teens. The statue was discussed in local lore circles and became one of the region's most repeated urban legends. So we're not just talking about just in Baltimore.
Yeah.
We're talking about Baltimore. We're talking about Delaware. We're talking about Pennsylvania, Virginia, like the
All
whole
the
like
surrounding areas.
area. Right. So Druid Ridge Cemetery management faced ongoing maintenance challenges due to visitors climbing the sculpture.
Oh.
And the statue was no longer just art, it became a liability at that point.
Yeah. Like we hear we want to experience the paranormal and we're cool with that, but like don't be a dick, right? Like follow the laws
Mhm.
all the time. Never
All the time.
break the law.
Never break the
Never
law or
trespass
never should you
anywhere.
do that.
Never. But if by chance you do, just be respectful.
Right.
Not that we're saying you should, but if you do, just don't be a dick.
Right. By the 1960s, Black Aggie was no longer just a story whispered between teenagers. She was a problem. Repeated vandalism at Druid Ridge Cemetery forced cemetery officials to take action. The statue had been climbed on chipped, scratched, and surrounded by after hours trespassers for years.
Mm.
The Agnes family monument was deteriorating. In 1967, the cemetery removed the statue from its plot.
In 1967?
Hmm.
Okay, so it's okay that I haven't seen it.
Right. I haven't seen it. I wasn't even born.
Just want to make sure.
Right. So this was not a supernatural decision, obviously. It was administrative. Maintenance, liability, preservation.
I
But
mean,
in Baltimore,
administrative based on paranormal claims.
right. But in Baltimore, that is not how the story was told. Some locals claimed the statue had become too dangerous to leave in place. Others insisted that accidents and strange occurrences were increasing. A version of the legend suggested that the cemetery removed Black Aggie to break the curse, so to speak.
Okay.
Another claimed the statue had to be relocated because it was drawing something dark.
And where was it
When
relocated to?
I will get there in a second.
Sorry.
When authorities intervene in a legend, the intervention often validates the myth. Some Baltimore residents later claimed that accidents decreased after the statue was removed, and others insisted the city had silenced something powerful. When a legend becomes entrenched, any change becomes a part of the myth. Remove the statue, it must have been dangerous. Protect the statue, it must have power. Leave the statue alone, it must be watching. There is no winning scenario once folklore takes hold.
That's true.
Yeah. If it was harmless, why remove it? If it was just art, why protect it? Removal can feel like confirmation of the legend itself. After its removal from Druid Ridge Cemetery, the statue eventually entered the collection of the Smithsonian Institution
Oh, okay.
and is now housed at the National Museum of American History. It stands indoors, climate controlled, under museum lighting, with a placard explaining its artistic origins and its connections to St. Gaudens Adams Memorial.
Adam family.
There are no warnings about curses. There are no mention of glowing red eyes. Just bronze, label, context. That's it.
Okay.
Some Baltimore residents have said that seeing Black Aggie in the museum feels wrong, that she belongs in the shadows. Others say the statue feels smaller indoors and less intimidating.
Interesting.
A few claim she still feels heavy.
Yes.
Context reshapes fear. In a cemetery at midnight, surrounded by silence and headstones, the statue feels watchful. In a museum gallery surrounded by school groups and fluorescent light, it feels historical.
I don't know. I looked at the pictures and I didn't care where the fuck she was. It still seemed heavy.
Either way, the object did not change, just the environment. Museums remove mystery by providing their own narrative. Cemeteries allow narratives to expand on their own.
Yeah.
The original Adams Memorial remains in Rock Creek Cemetery, undisturbed in DC. It has never inspired the same level of urban legend as the Baltimore replica did.
That's what's really interesting to me.
Right. So there are no widespread dares to sit on the lap of the one in DC. No glowing eye stories that gained traction. The difference was not design, but it was the folklore. Some believe the legend intensifies after the statue was removed. Once Black Aggie was no longer accessible, she became untouchable. And untouchable things are easier to kind of seal in mythology, so
Huh,
to speak.
I can see that for sure.
Yeah, you can mythologize it better that way.
Yeah, that's a good word, mythologize.
Something vanishes, imagination fills the space. A statue in a cemetery can be tested. A statue in a museum becomes memory.
Yeah.
And memory is flexible, to say the least. What happens when we take something feared and place it behind glass?
Annabelle?
Right. Does the fear disappear?
No.
Does it change?
Intensify?
Maybe. Black Aggie left Baltimore soil in 1967, but she never fully left Baltimore's imagination.
Yeah, for sure.
I did go on to Reddit
Reddit.
to look for stories. It's hard to find people because it was removed in 1967.
Yeah.
So to find people that were alive and had good enough memories back then.
And have enough technology
Mhm.
skills to be able to post.
Right.
It's a little challenging.
It is. But I did find 2 stories.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So in story 1, both of these users were username deleted. Of
Okay.
course.
Of course.
So story 1 says, I grew up in Baltimore County in the 60s, and everyone in my high school knew about Black Aggie. It wasn't even a question whether you believed it. You just didn't mess with her. My older brother had done the Midnight Dare just years before. So, of course, when I turned 16, my friends decided it was my turn. We snuck into Druid Ridge Cemetery just before midnight, flashlights off, trying not to get caught. I remember the air feeling thicker the closer we got to her. She looked darker in person, not brown, not bronze, but pure black.
Huh.
When I sat in her lap, it felt colder than it should have. I remember thinking that was strange because it had been warm earlier that night. My friend Jamie started whispering, Don't look at her face. So obviously, I did.
Of course.
Right. I don't know how to explain it, but her hood seemed deeper than it should have. Like the darkness inside wasn't just shadows. Nothing, of course, happened that night. But 3 weeks later, Jamie was in a car accident. She survived, barely. But she was in the hospital for months.
Mm.
The driver that hit her said he swerved because he thought something ran into the road, but nothing was found to be there.
Interesting.
Jamie would not talk about that night after the accident ever. And here's the part I've never told anyone.
Except everyone on
The
the
week
internet.
before, except everyone on the internet, right? The week before her accident, I started having dreams about the statue. In that dream, I'm sitting in her lap again, but this time her arms move. They don't grab me. They just rest on my shoulders like someone steadying themselves before standing up. I haven't dreamt about her in years, but I still won't go near that cemetery regardless of the fact that she has been removed.
Fair.
Right. You can call it coincidence, an accident that could have happened anyway. And maybe it was. But sometimes I wonder if I hadn't looked into that hood, would that man had ever swerved?
That's a question that you can ask. The fact that it didn't happen to
It is.
her.
That's what I thought was interesting,
Yeah.
that it wasn't the person that sat in the lap,
I mean, we don't
but it was a friend.
know for sure that the friend didn't sit in the lap, but if
Mhm.
they did, then why did the bad thing happen to her and not the person telling the story?
Right. Okay, you're ready for story 2?
I am way ready.
I grew up hearing about Black Aggie like it was just another Baltimore ghost story. My mom warned me about her. My older cousin swore she was cursed. By the time I was in college, I just thought this was all ridiculous. One October night, a group of us decided to go see her before she was removed.
October, of
I
course.
guess they had Right. I guess they had caught wind of the fact that she was supposed to be removed. We weren't trying to prove anything dramatic. We were just looking for a good scare. It was quieter than I had expected. When we found her, she didn't look evil. Despite that, as my friends kept joking around, I felt this weird urge to be quiet. One of them dared me to sit in her lap. So I did. Nothing happened. No glowing eyes, no sudden chill. Just bronze and silence. I even leaned back a little, half smiling for a photo. But when we left, I couldn't shake the feeling that I had forgotten something.
Sounds right.
The next few weeks were strange, not catastrophic, just off. I kept misplacing things. My watch stopped working. I'd wake up at 3:12 a.m. for no reason, night after night.
I hate
I
that.
started dreaming. I know. I started dreaming about cemeteries, though I'd never dreamed about one before this. The dreams were simple. I'd be walking past rows of headstones, and at the end of each row, she would be there, not moving, not chasing me,
I don't like that.
just watching.
I don't like it. I don't like it, Kelly.
I don't like it. I don't like it either. After about a month, it stopped. Life just kind of went back to normal. But here's the part that still sticks with me. When I finally developed the photo from that night, everything looked normal, except me.
No.
In the picture, I'm sitting in her lap, smiling, but my face is blurred. Not motion blurred, not camera shake blurred, just my face. Everything else is sharp. I still have that photo somewhere. I've shown it to people.
Somewhere.
They say it's just a camera issue. And maybe it is. But I've never gone back. And I've never sat in another statue's lap.
I still have that photo somewhere. I just can't
I
post
know,
it on this Reddit account that I'm posting this story on because I suck.
I wish that they would had, but of course, no
They
photo.
fucking didn't.
And that brings us to the end of this episode about Black Aggie. Black Aggie never needed to move. She never needed to speak. For decades, she sat in the dark at Druid Ridge Cemetery, and that was enough. Enough for whispers, enough for dares, enough for people to swear her eyes burned red after midnight. Even now, under museum lights, some say she still feels heavy, like she's waiting. And maybe the question was never whether she was cursed, but whether something was watching from beneath the hood the entire time.
I believe that.
Right.
if you loved hanging out with us today, which of course you fucking did because we're amazing,
Of course.
please
Right.
rate, review, subscribe wherever you listen because it really helps. And drop us a comment because we love hearing from you.
And follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Not My Ghost Podcast for even more chaos. And tonight, when I tell you we brought the chaos,
So much chaos. Yeah.
I mean, we brought the chaos.
Please do. And if you want bonus episodes and extra spooky perks like the blooper reels from this evening, which at this point we are at almost
3
3
hours?
hours. So everyone stop right now. Look at how long this episode actually is and understand that we are at 3 hours of recording.
Right.
And then decide if you want to go pay to get the access to everything we deleted from this episode by joining our Patreon at patreon.com/notmyghostnotmyproblem because, yeah, it's worth it.
Holy shit. Fuck.
We cried.
Got a creepy.
We cried.
We did. We cried.
There were
We had a
tears.
whole therapy session inside this episode.
And that'll be on our blooper reel. Blooper.
Sort of. Not all of it. Not
some of
all
it.
of it.
Some
Because
of
some
it.
of it was personal.
It was, but some of it will
Right.
be there. So,
Right. If you have a creepy encounter, email us at notmyghostpodcast@gmail.com and you might hear it featured on a future episode.
please. And
Please.
if you actually want to see the crazy nonsense that is us, don't forget that we are on YouTube and Spotify. Our video is released there, so please go
No.
watch it. What?
Can they watch video on Spotify?
Yes.
No way.
Yes, I upload the video to Spotify. Now,
This is how much I know about the workings
Yeah.
of our
if
podcast.
you go to Spotify the day the episode's released, the video may or may not be there because it doesn't let me schedule it. So, ADHD brain, sometimes I forget. So it may
Right.
not be there till like Friday or Saturday, but like they're there eventually, I promise. So yeah, go check us out and watch the craziness that is this podcast because fuck, it's crazy.
Please. Thanks for joining us on this shadow descent through the legend of Black Aggie. As you wander past silent headstones and hooded figures in forgotten cemeteries, keep this in mind.
If it's not your ghost,
It's not your problem.
until next time, stay spooky.
And stay skeptical.